This exercise is all about working on your midfoot mobility, becoming aware of it a bit more, and then having a play with it to see if you can improve it at all. Your midfoot being this area of your foot down here, middle, lots of bones and joints in there that are all arranged around each other to allow movement, to allow the foot to pronate, arch to flatten and soften down into the ground as our foot lands when we're walking and absorb force, and to then supinate and roll up. The arch comes up away from the ground, and the arch then becomes stiffer to give us more of a rigid lever to press off from as we press off from the ground when we're walking. So the foot is designed to change shape in these two different directions to allow different functions. The mobility of our midfoot is really important for that shape change to be able to occur. And if the midfoot becomes very stiff and we actually can't get into pronation or can't get out of pronation and into supination, then other problems can arise from that. So you can use these few exercises as a way of playing around with midfoot mobility. So feet hip distance or so apart. Let your toes become as wide as you can. Root down through the base of your big toe, base of your little toe, center of your heel. Soften through your knees. And we're going to just let the knees drop in. You can have your hands up on your hips, and then you can have a little feel of what's going on at your hips as you do this. So as you soften your knees in towards each other, the arch will naturally just drop down towards the ground. And then as the knees kind of go out and away, move out away from each other, the arch comes up away from the ground, if there's some mobility there. So this is just something to play with, letting the arch soften down into the ground and move up away from the ground. And you might find that your big toe is kind of lifting. So as you're doing this, you can then start to try and anchor down through the big toe and see if you just lift the arch. And we can also do this one at a time as we incorporate a bit of turning. Okay, so we did again with your hands on the pelvis, knees a bit soft, turn to the right, and then turn around to the left. And what's happening here is the foot and ankle is softening down into the ground on one side and raising up away from the ground on the other side. So you can just start to notice how this feels in your foot and use it as an exercise to bring some more mobility into the foot. So allowing more movement to happen in the midfoot. It might be that doing this in standing is a bit too painful. So you can come into sitting. So we're not weight bearing as much, but you've still got this sensation coming in. You've got the weight of the kind of bottom part of your legs loading through your feet, and then letting your knees drop in and the knees come out away from each other. So this is a much less weight bearing way of playing with this movement, but you can still start to appreciate that movement and start to allow the joints to just glide over each other, perhaps encouraging a bit more synovial fluid in the joints, encouraging some kind of better lubrication, getting some movement there, reducing inflammation, improving mobility.